Sun avatars are a very mediocre tower on their own, and they can't really do much once you get past round 80, but if you just have 3 sun avatars and perma brew them up, they become incredibly powerful, being able to completely melt round 98 after struggling greatly against it just before without the perma brew. So I'm going to take Geraldo and get some Worn Hero Cape Sun avatars all the way up on the ledge of Dark Dungeons and see where this will get me. It's going to be a pretty interesting one because this map is very unique in many ways, and I can actually get some Worn Hero Cape Dart Monkeys all the way up on that top ledge, transform them into Super Monkeys, and then just have Super Monkeys doing damage for both sides of Dark Dungeons. The only really weird thing is that this is going to bring some targeting issues with first and last targeting, and because I won't really be spending much on support for stuff like glues and Moa presses, this might become a little bit of an issue. For the early game though, I will be using Atasaurus, which was kind of annoying, but it honestly did not do that bad. The micro was definitely very annoying, but because I am using Geraldo as the hero and I'm not going to be relying on something that has like base bomb, for example, in order to not do it, which I end up doing differently on the Robo one, when I do Robo with Perma Brew after this, it became a little bit of a pain having to get like a corrosive and a base bomb and all that other stuff. So the early game went through kind of used a few items. I could have saved some money on items here, but that's alright. We were able to get up the stuff, and once we got 2 juggernauts on each side, everything was just fine. The Juggernauts are extremely powerful, and with just the 2 Juggernauts, a few Geraldo items, I'm able to take care of all of those other 2 lanes completely free, and then I can move along with going for the Sun Avatar in the middle. I'll have 3 Super Monkeys. There's only going to be 2 Sun Avatars, which is all we're going to need. The last one's going to be kind of mandatory to beat around 95, so with all those purples and all, we'll kind of have to have one of those, but I'm going to be going for 1320 and 1302. I'll be starting with the 302 so I don't have to deal with camo issues in the mid game, and this will be what will save up for the Perma Brew. I thought this Perma Brew save up would be pretty easy, but it actually was kind of brutal, just because of the fact that Dark Dungeons will force spending a bunch of cash to be able to get those other 2 balloon lanes. I am down a lot of money to what a typical Perma Brew Sun Avatar setup would give me, and so with that I will be buying the Sun Avatar very late. Normally you'd be able to buy it pretty darn early, like in the mid 50s, but with it nearing round 63, just barely getting that Sun Avatar, I'm going to be in for a long ride to get the Perma Brew. On top of that, I'm going to have to spend a few Geraldo items to beat the other 2 lanes. It's not that much money, but it's something. And then also with the middle lane having to do a whole bunch of micro for targeting, it doesn't really become the most efficient thing as compared to just being able to set it on first completely. So it will be a little bit of a struggle, much more of a struggle than I expected, to be able to save up into the Perma Brew. When I did the robos, which you will see tomorrow as I am uploading this a day late, it was supposed to be Monday's video, but now it's Tuesday's video, so Wednesday's video tomorrow will be the robos. For that, the save up was a lot easier. I also could have gotten Bunny, which would have made it a lot easier, but in the long run this wouldn't really be worth it, because pretty much all the damage I'll need is just from 2 Sun Avatars, and when I get that, we'll kind of max everything out. With the robos, it might have been worth it, but that will be examined tomorrow. So I'm just going to continue on with the save up. Everything was pretty chill. I needed to bring some spikes in, for example, like here on round 78. It was kind of funny how that round 78, the left lane was the perfect amount of spikes. The spike completely disappeared and not a single balloon left past that. So that was pretty funky to see. And then I'm going to be bringing in a bunch of spikes. I'll need this blade trap for round 80, which is kind of disappointing. It didn't have enough pierce. And then we'll be bringing spikes, creepy idols, and some glues to kind of work everything around for the save up. And then I'll finally be able to buy the Perma Brew, where our power will then be greatly increased. So moving on to the late game, I was able to get that second Sun Avatar up, and this is just absolutely destroying. The Sun Avatars with Perma Brew are very powerful. So being able to get that, it's kind of like you're just going to win now. On top of that, you can get other towers that also work very well with Perma Brew pretty easily. Once you get the Perma Brew, you really can go all out on just stuff that works well with it. So going on to round 95, just a few spikes were kind of needed. I gave Camo Pop to that base Super Monkey so I can pop the purples, and then after that I just set one to close, one to first, and I'm able to destroy everything. If you're kind of unaware why I have to deal with all of these close first targeting, sometimes last two, it's because the length of the path on the bottom is a lot shorter. So if a balloon were to get about halfway on the top, so basically right over the Super Monkeys, they're just about to leak, that is not considered the first target if there is a Moab that's about halfway through the bottom track, which would be where Geraldo is, and has plenty of time to move before it's going to leak. So basically I need to force some towers to target close so that they attack the stuff that's actually leaking instead of first targeting, which would attack the stuff that's not leaking. So that kind of makes an issue a lot of time for some maps. I know Quad is like that too. So that just brought a big difficulty in the challenge. The robos make that kind of easy because you can just have one on close and one on first or each of the arms, which is kind of nice. For round 98, the creepy idols came in very much clutch. They're extremely underrated, that and the upgraded spikes. And then for round 100, we bring the double genie out, and I have to use a whole bunch more small items, which kind of costs a little bit here and there, but I'm eventually able to take out this bad and finish with 32,000 cash spare. It's not really a lot because I am kind of forced to go for a pretty expensive tower and use a lot of Geraldo items, but it's still definitely a very cool strategy and was able to get a lot of power. Another general thing to note is that the Perma Brew isn't really the greatest with cash spare because it works very differently compared to other towers, where once you get it up, you can spend as much to make much more powerful towers. So for example, if I buy like an overclock, it's only going to be able to buff so much, but with Perma Brew, it's a very expensive asset, but you get a lot out of every single dollar that you put into the support, making it so that it's a lot more powerful when you spend all your money compared to other towers. Thanks for watching. If you want to help out the channel, you can check out these new videos, like and subscribe for more content, support the channel by becoming a member, and joining the Discord to chat with the community. Bye!